I've come up here to talk to the sheep. You see the sheep behind me having a little graze in the field. Lots of them have gone now. They've been sent off to other places in parts of Yorkshire and the rest of the UK, but we've had lots of sheep around here recently. It's been lovely. But I want to talk to you about something completely different. I want to talk to you about reviewing your culture before you embark on a strategy. It's something I picked up in a previous message, but I want to go a bit more deeply into this. In a piece of research by my company, System Solutions, we discovered that fewer than 35% of companies truly reviewed and accurately reviewed their culture before embarking on their strategy. In fact, even fewer discussed their culture, reviewed their culture before even the formulation of that strategy. So they set out not knowing where their people were. That had a number of huge implications because year one of a strategy is full of enthusiasm. You've got a 3-year journey, 3-year strat plan, clear objectives. A strategy must take you somewhere. Of course it must. And you've got to take your people with you. Unfortunately, year two, it begins to go a little bit wrong because people get bored. People don't understand where they are. The culture isn't reviewed sufficiently throughout the process. You don't spot the drift. You don't spot how the parallel lines between culture and strategy, which you started with, are now divergent lines, and then it begins to fall apart. So constant review of your strategy through of your culture, through your strategic plan journey is critical if you're not going to lose momentum in late year two and into year three, because that's critical for you to achieve the change that you want to achieve. How do we do this review? Very important question. It's amazing how many of us do employment engagement surveys, ask the stock numbers of questions, get the regular answers on a yearly, 6-monthly, 2-yearly basis, whatever it might be. That's a good thing. You want longitudinal statistics. You want to have data you can compare to this time last year. You want to have an idea of perspective and where you're going. Great. But the clever companies will add those questions that are utterly pertinent and in harmony with where your strategy wants to take you. If you want to improve customer service, if you want to improve productivity, if you want to improve safety in your warehouses, if you want to increase and encourage innovation, those sorts of questions need to be added to your stock of core questions and amended as you go a little bit as your strategy matures towards its conclusion, so that you are constantly aware of whether the innovation impulse is dying, whether your customer service standards have gone down and why it's happened, or whatever you're trying to achieve has lost momentum because something has gone wrong in the culture. And those could be a whole heap of things. And I want to talk about those in a different video. What I want to encourage you to do is to be constantly surveying, not just are we making the right amount of money or are we achieving the sorts of objectives that we're wanting to get to. You want to be also looking at the culture. Now let's talk about your board. Your board is the people to whom you report, or your exec team. And when you review that strategy on a cyclical basis, the board must learn to ask hard questions about your culture. People drive numbers, people drive momentum, people drive performance. You've got to educate as a CEO, as a leader, you've got to educate your team and those above you to ask questions about where is our culture, is it still serving our strategy? Because that is the prime reason your strategy will not happen if the culture is wrong. So let me encourage you to have a very mature, very in-depth understanding of where your culture is by creating an appropriate review process which ensures that you get to where you get to, you take your people with you, and when you get there, the corporate and general sense of achievement is strong and success happens again in the next strategic cycle. This has been me, John Newton. I'm the founder of System Solutions. We do this sort of work in order to help companies really achieve the best that they can.